Hello, let's do our 2.1 notes today, which is writing and graphing inequalities. So in the core concept box that you see here, we have some words, we have some algebra, and then we are going to make a graph. So let's look at the words. X is less than 2. Another way that we will see this is you will see the phrase instead of X is less than, sometimes you might see X is fewer than. All this means is we're going to write an X. This is called a less than symbol, and then 2. If we're going to graph this, we just need to have the number 2 in context. So like the number 0, like 1, 2, and 3. A little bit of a heads up here. If you have a less than or a greater than symbol, those are what we call an open circle. And then if you have the equal to symbols with them, that is what we call a closed circle. Closed means that number works. Open means it doesn't work. So this would be what we would then have as an open circle. And then we would shade to the left because we want anything less than or fewer than 2. Then we can look at the next one here. X is greater than 2, or it might say is more than. Notice we'll always have that word is in front of the word less or fewer or greater or more. Is less, is fewer, is greater, is more than, meaning it's an inequality. And this would be an X greater than symbol and a 2. And again, if we do our number line with the numbers 1, 2, and 3, this would be an open circle above the 2, and we are going to shade to the right. Then we have X is less than or equal to. Other phrases you'll see would be is at most. You might also see is no more than. And so I'm going to put this in context, 1, 2, and 3. This is what we call a closed circle. X is less than or equal to. Equal to is the closed circle, and then less than means to the left of 2 on a number line. And then X is greater than or equal to 2. Two other phrases you might see is at least. Also the phrase is no less than. Is no less than. And those are the numbers again, 1, 2, and 3. I just realized that in the graph above I put a 1, 2, 1. It's supposed to be a 1, 2, 3. And here would have a closed circle on 2. And we're going to shade to the right. All right, let's go to example 1 here. So example 1 is about writing. Let me zoom up here so you can see this. Example 1 is about writing each sentence as an inequality. So a number W minus 3.5. So this section right here is W minus 3.5. Then we have the phrase is less than or equal to. So there's your less than equal to symbol. And then we have the number -2. So if we put it together where it looks nice, it would say W minus 3.5 less than equal to symbol -2, and that is our inequality. All right, example 1b, 3 is less than, so 3 less than symbol, a number n, which is n, then put the +5, pretty easy. And then part C, 0, I'll write 0, is greater than or equal to, so the greater than equal to symbol, to twice. Twice means 2 times something. It says twice a number x, then +1. All right, so go ahead and pause the video when I say, and you can try on your own. Number 1 and 2. 3, 2, 1, go. Welcome back. And for number 1, you should have B less than sign 30.4. And number 2, you should have a -7/10, greater than equal to symbol. Then 2K minus 4. All right, let's go to the next page. All right, example 2 here. Let me zoom in so you can actually see what's going on. Here we go. Example 2 is to tell whether a negative 4 is a solution of the inequality. This means to plug it in, and simplify. Then you're going to check. So where am I plugging it in? I'm plugging the negative 4 anywhere that I see an x. So here's what it's going to look like. I'm going to have negative 4 plus 8 less than negative 3. Simplify this. I get 4 is less than negative 3. Is 4 less than negative 3? Not true. 4 is not less than negative 3. So not true means not a solution. So that's our actual final answer here, is not a solution. In part B here, I'm going to write negative 4.5 times negative 4. Is that greater than negative 21? If you simplify that, you're going to get 18 greater than negative 21. Well, first of all, a positive number is always greater than a negative. So this is a true statement. So which means this is, yes, it is a solution. So what I'm going to have you do next is you're going to do the next couple on your own. So here we go. We're going to do on your own 3 through 6. And pause the video when you're done, unpause it, and I'll tell you if they're yeses or no's. So 3, 2, 1, go. Now that you're back from trying those, number 3 is a yes, number 4 is a no, number 5 is a yes, and number 6 is a no. If you have any questions on those, feel free to reach out to me individually in person, and I'd love to help you with those. Let's move on to example number 3. All right, example 3, graph each inequality. So this is where you're going to make a little graph here. So what we're going to do is make a little number line, an arrow on both sides. I'm going to do that for all 3 of these, just so I know I have the space on my paper. So the first one here is y less than equal to negative 3. I like to think of the number that's in that inequality as like a little target number. So since we're making our own number line, I'm going to put that negative 3 in the middle. Let's put a number on both sides that's in context. So negative 4 is on the left, negative 2 is on the right, and then I can graph this. So the equal to symbol means it's a closed circle, and the less than, I want to think of numbers less than negative 3, which means I am going to the left. Example 3, part B, the target numbers are 2, so I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. And then what I want to do here, there's 2 ways you can think of it. One, we can rewrite this with an x first and the 2 second, but because if you notice the x is getting eaten, old school way of thinking of inequalities, the x has to get eaten here. So this is really a greater than, or you can think of, if this is an open circle, 2 has to be less than, and we can think of your x as being your shaded area. So if I want to be less than my shaded area, less meaning to the left, my 2 has to be to the left of where we shade, which means if that's to the left, the shading is on the right. And then C, 0 is in the middle, 1 and negative 1 are what it's between. That is an open circle. It says greater than 0, which means it's an open circle shaded to the right. So if we go to the page here, what I'm going to have you do is on your own 7, 8, 9, and 10. And when you unpause the video, I will quickly show you what those should be. So let's go ahead and do that in 3, 2, 1, and go. Welcome back. Here's what I have. So for 7, you should have a negative 8 in the middle, probably a negative 7 to the right of it, a negative 9 to the left. It is a closed, not closed, it is an open circle shaded to the right. Number 8, here is the graph. You could do decimals if you want. 1.4 is in the middle. You can do 1.5 to the right, 1.3 to the left, or you can say that 2 is on the right and 1 is on the left, whatever you want. But it's a closed circle, and it says greater than G. So 1.4 is greater than where you shade. Greater means to the right, so we're actually shading to the left on this one. If you want to rewrite it, you could put something like G less than equal 1.4 if you flip-flop the whole thing. All right, let's look at number 9. I'm going to have 1/2, then 1, and then maybe 0. This is going to be an open circle shaded to the left. And then number 10, the square root of 36 means this is really the greater than equal to 6. So let's go ahead and do our number line. 6 and 7 and 5 are my number line. A closed circle shaded to the right. All right, I'm going to move on to example 4 here. Here is example 4. So this one says the graphs here show the height restrictions representing as h in inches for 2 rides at an amusement park. Write an inequality that represents the height restriction of each ride. So ride A, here's what we have is we have a closed circle. So that is an equal to symbol. We are shading to the right, which means it's a greater than symbol. So h is greater than 48. Notice I'm starting with my variable first. We want to think of our variable, our symbol, and then our number. It's probably the easiest way. I have a lot of students who want to do the number first, but let's get used to doing the variable first. This next one, my variable is going to be h. My number is 52. I'm shading to the left, which is a less than symbol, but notice it's an open circle, so there's no equal to. Now that you have that, go ahead and do this next on your own here. There we go, where you can see this. Go ahead and do on your own number 11. 3, 2, 1, and go. Now that you finished number 11, you should have x, oops, helps me, I'm actually writing here, x greater than equal to negative 6. Again, that's x greater than equal to negative 6. All right, those are our notes for the day. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me for help. If not, we'll see you back here in the next video.